That was an interesting pause. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing out there? And welcome to the show that just recently won an Interplanetary News Award for our coverage of the Mormon invasion of Uranus. It's the 42 Show.
I was wondering if I was going to end with that. I was going to go, some Uranus joke coming in there, but you beat me to it. Well, yes, in stories we're not going to cover tonight, but we are going to mention it because good old Trumpy, he's done it again, hasn't he? He's done it again. All those warnings he put out about hunting down the media in a big witch hunt. He's basically said it's going to happen. He's going to hunt them down. He's going to hate all the people that just disliked him. Actually, he said it's going to all the people who were what did he call it? Untrue. What's the word of untrue? But yeah, he says he's gonna go after them, and okay, that's not good news. And he's also said that Project 2025 that he knew nothing about seems like a good idea. So it's not so much of God bless America anymore. It's God save America. So maybe we'll just the Declaration of Independence. I think the British should just say, we had our fingers crossed the whole time. You're still ours. The drone situation is still going on. People don't know what they are. Nobody knows what they are. There's even been calls for the New Jersey police to start shooting things down, which in late December is probably not a good idea.
What is it? I don't know. Let's kill it.
Yeah, it's got a red light and it's making jingly noises as it flies through the sky. Let's shoot it down. Sorry, kids. So we'll get back to the reality. What's in the real news tonight, there, Dick?
Well, you might say it's finally happened, but wait for it. Until then, a Boeing 787 pilot was forced to announce an emergency landing due to the stench of 100 pigs on board the aircraft. So pigs are flying, man. But turns out
it's first class or coach.
I do believe that they were in first. And the reason they got all rowdy and started, flinging shit everywhere was that the alcohol was watered down. And, the pigs can tell, right? Boeing's trying to make a buck anywhere they can. What can I say? No, they were in the cargo hold of a Dreamliner and ended up overwhelming the cockpit's air supply mid-flight. Yeah, there's some footage you can find. We're not going to put it on. There's an exchange between the pilot and air traffic control. And the captain says, there's this thing going on. We're all being overwhelmed by the stench of pigs. And the guy's like, I'm sorry, could you say that again? Yeah. And the pilot's like, yeah, that's probably the start of the inconvenience, but they're going to have to be offloaded. We can't continue the flight. So they had to divert to Bermuda. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. So it took so long to deal with the pigs that the staff of the plane were now over their allotted work hours. So now everybody on the plane has to be holed up in a hotel and whatnot for the night. They dealt with the pigs, and then they get the passengers on the plane again the next day, and they were able to finish their trip to Mexico. Yeah,
I'm sure the flight crew weren't too bothered about being holed up in Bermuda for a little while.
I know the hardship some people go through just because of a couple of pigs. It's unbelievable, Oh, and it's not even the first time something like that's happened. So in a little while back, there was a flight, Indonesian flight, and it descended into chaos because of a thing called a Durian. And Durians or Durian, I'm not sure, but it's the world's smelliest fruit, most people would say.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And people in the plane were like gag reflexing and so on. People often compare it to like rotten onions, turpentine, raw sewage, and that flight had to be derailed because of that stuff as well. So
yes, I remember when a friend of mine brought one into work one day for lunch.
Yeah.
Did not go down well.
But I don't understand. Like a flight on a Dreamliner 787 can't be that cheap. So what are these, like some kind of prize pigs? What the hell was going on?
Yeah.
You know? Weird, right? It makes it even more strange when you think
Prime
about
bacon.
it. Yeah. So there you go. I don't know. There's links we go to have good bacon.
Well, what goes great with bacon, Dick? Eggs. But this is going to be a pricey egg because it's a 1 in a billion spherical egg. That must have been a very oddly shaped chicken. A man spontaneously bought after a few pints has sold at auction for £200. Ed Pownell from Lambourne in Berkshire shelled out 150 quid for the odd shaped egg and then donated it to the Leventus Foundation, a charity that provides mentoring, life coaching, and mental health support for young people across Oxfordshire. Good cause.
But what? Oh, okay, go.
It's an egg. The charity thought the donation was a joke at first before putting it up for sale. Ros Rapp from the foundation said, "We were delighted and thrilled the egg sold, as it means we can continue to do what we are doing." What's that? Making fried eggs.
I get that. All you did was interrupt somebody's breakfast. Bastard.
Miss Rapp explained that the hen's egg was just one item in the auction for the charity. Total funds of 5,000 were raised. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Who cares?
But they have a chicken foot with 7 toes? I mean,
they got a plain load of pigs. We dropped off.
Where who?
Yeah, David Miller, who works for the Thompson Roddick Callan auction house, where it was previously sold, said round eggs are thought to be a 1 in a billion occurrence, which is kind of funny because if you look at the article on the BBC, it was like 10 other articles underneath it about round eggs. So they're coming up.
Well, people go through a lot of eggs, even if it is 1 in a billion. There should be quite a few. I mean, right?
Yeah, so it said the money raised will help 13 to 25-year-olds struggling with their mental health. I need a round egg too, I think, and it will enable us to reach more.
I'm struggling with my mental health because of the story.
All right, then, go on. Let's move on. Then let's get on to your next story. Come on.
No, I wanted to point out before we go. Looking on the egg in the bottom there, it looks like somebody was going in for breakfast and they were stopped just in the nick of time.
Oh, it also has little bits on the outside of eggs. It's just you always wonder where it comes from. It's like, what's this hen jizz on it or something? What's going on here? It's like was the cock trying to fertilize it?
And you guys practice clean collection of eggs, so there's a thing there too. We forgot to show you on the last one there. I just wanted to point out, how we were talking about pigs flying on the plane. It's not the first time. 1909, this picture is dated, and let me zoom this in for you. I am the first pig to fly.
Is it just the head of the pig?
Yeah, well, no, you can see his little feet or paws or hoof, whatever you know.
Shoved in a basket.
Yeah. So, he looks like he's smiling. Hold on, let me zoom that in. See, look, I think he's grinning. He's like,
I wonder when that gag, pigs may fly sort of thing, when that was first coined. Was that before the era of flight or during?
Roger Waters coined it in like the 1800s, but he couldn't get a big blow up pig for the concerts until way later.
Yeah, he couldn't get hold of Edison to lay down his album on wax cylinder.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't doubt there's a weird release of some solo Roger Waters that's on wax cylinder for sure.
In stereo.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have 2 of them in sync. So, was it my turn now? Yeah. So this chick here lives in Oklahoma, and this is her little tiny home. It's a cool little thing on wheels. You can see it's on a pad there, and she's got it all hooked up and whatnot. And she came home the other night and found this instead. The entire tiny home has simply been stolen. Yeah, her name is Monica Budzinski. Now, not Lewinsky, Budzinski. So don't instantly start thinking about cigars and humidors. She said she bought the tiny home and 10 acres of land in 2022, and it was just ripped off from her. A neighbor had noticed the theft and gave her a call. She got there and the gate to the property was wide open. The lock had been cut and whatnot, and the house was gone. So the neighbor has cameras, and he saw 4 men in a UTV in a pickup truck. They came to the gate. They cut through. They cut the straps and the connections, the electrical and everything, hooked up to it, and drove away. Yeah. So now she was just trying to get this place inspected to be, fully legal and insured and everything. And she was having some issues. And a couple of people had said, you should probably get the work done or, maybe just start fresh. It's just a tiny home. It's not like a foundation and all that stuff. But now she doesn't even have the place at all. So she's had some help. They've been checking around town, trying to, look in different places that are like, you can see, and they haven't found anything. They've been putting up some posters and stuff. They're offering a reward to try and see if they can't get it back. But I mean, holy man, we're in the day and age where you just steal the entire home. You don't even break into it anymore. You just bugger off with it.
Oh, that's one way to do it. I mean, it's pretty distinctive. I mean, it should be easy to spot.
Yeah.
Maybe one day on Google Street View, someone will find it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt that. But I mean, that's crazy. I can't believe that. So and I did want to bring up, as it pertains to this article, part of this is these stupid regulations that a lot of these townships and cities and regions have as it pertains to tiny homes. They have to be on wheels and this and that, and you can't put it on any kind of real foundation and stuff. Well, is that really still necessary? These tiny home things, they're not motorhomes from the 70s. This isn't carnies taking over a vacant lot and living there until the season starts again. Life is changing. Maybe we should keep up.
Yes, there's an awful lot of people moving into vans and stuff these days. Yeah.
Because if she was allowed to keep it more permanent, this couldn't have happened in the first place. So, right?
She should have taken the wheels off.
Yeah, not allowed to, though. Not allowed to. In her area, that would have instantly violated a bunch of things, and she would have been kicked off the property, even though she owns it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So,
well, replace it with square wheels then.
Yeah. Octagons, right? Yeah. Wheels made of Play-Doh. Yeah. So,
what about she used one of those those lock things you could put on the wheels? I mean,
oh yeah, one of those old parking things. Yeah, good idea.
Bit late now.
I wonder if you can buy them. Like, can the citizens get them?
Yeah, you can buy them.
That's not a bad idea. So think about that, people. Get one of those. You haven't paid your lease on the car wheel lock thingies.
Yeah.
Couple of shout outs we can do here. We got the Ukrainian mission there. Ukraine mission in the chat gifting out a membership. That's Brit the Ukrainian, or Britain Ukraine. Sorry. You've been on the channel on Blue Sky and everything. How you doing, pal? Whitefishy 1 became a Shill apprentice. Awesome. Hey, glad to have you aboard, dude. Cool. And then UTV and Ham gifted out 5 Shills memberships. So holy membership time, everybody. Thank you so much. That's really cool.
Thank you.
And remember, the last person to get gifted a membership, you get the bar tab. So make sure you submit your address and we'll send it right off to you. Okay, where are you up to here?
Yeah, talking of members, this massive member, a convicted terrorist, is suing a pub called the Saracen's Head Inn, saying that he was deeply offended by the pub sign. Khalid Bakar, 60, claims the depiction of a bearded Arab Turk incites violence. Well, it is a pub, isn't it? Despite him previously being jailed for preparing jihadi propaganda. Yes, you heard that right. Sorry, I was waiting for it. I thought you could respond there. Yes, Khalid Bakr claims the pub sign featuring an image of the bearded Arab Turk incites violence. I just said that. He also claims that it is racist, and he wants 1,850.
This is just.
He wants £1,850 from the landlord of the historic inn at Amersham, Buckinghamshire, and plans to take on 30 more with the same name if successful. But the pub, landlord, he says, Robbie Hayes, 52, he says it's a complete joke. This is pub has been called the Saracen Head for 500 years. He says he's just chancing his hand. Of course, it doesn't worry me, but you never know with people like this. He says no one at the pub is racist. Well, probably are a bit racist, and we don't believe the sign is racist, and it's simply historic. Well, it's not. It's not
place is almost as old as Greece. I mean,
it's a Saracen is a race, I suppose, but is that racist just to have a picture of him on it?
I don't think so.
I don't think that really works out. So this is almost as bad as Peter taking on the pubs.
This is the dude.
This is the dude. Yeah. Where are we going to get to? Backer has filed a claim of money form, an application to county court for the sum of a cash a person says they are owed, which was previously referred to as small. I mean, I'm not too sure how he can put a value on it. I mean,
seems to think he's like a mob of one putting protection money on these guys.
His admission says, while walking through the area, I was shocked and deeply offended by what I saw. I saw a pub signage depicting a brown-skinned, bearded Arab Turk male with a turban and captioned the Saracen's Head. This instilled worry and fear in me, since it is clearly xenophobic, racist, and inciting violence to certain people.
It's just
I immediately complained to the pub and requested the signage to be removed. Now, he says he's contacted the pub 4 times and visited in person, although the staff say they got no fucking record of it. They don't remember.
Yeah, he's barred now.
Well, he's Muslim. They don't drink, so he wouldn't have been in the pub anyway.
Yeah.
Let's get a packet of crisps, maybe. But in 2018, Bakker was jailed for 4 years and 8 months after admitting 5 counts of dissemination of terrorist publication. Yeah, little git. He says I've always been offended by pub names like these, but I've only recently discovered how I can challenge them online. I've stopped all the terrorism stuff now. Oh, good for you.
Oh,
well done.
Wow.
Have a fucking badge.
I'm sure we all trust you not to be a scammer now. Absolutely.
But Toby Young of the Free Speech Union said it's a bit rich for someone in jail for encouraging people to commit acts of Islamic terrorism to complain about the name of a pub inciting violence.
Yeah. And the only violence it's inciting is this guy being pissed off. So, I mean,
yeah, one of the things I say is the pub's name, Saracen's Head, is said to be linked to the Crusades.
Same guy. Look at this. Watch. All you had to do is just wrap his head in a towel.
He's a Saracen. He's a Muslim. So they were saying the Saracen's Head name is said to have linked to the Crusades and has been a sign of respect of the fighting qualities of the enemies. That's kind of interesting. But the thing is, I'm going to sue this git for cultural appropriation, because being a Muslim, I mean, why the fuck has he got the beard of a Scotsman?
Yeah. Exactly.
Cultural appropriation.
Exactly. I mean, you should literally be able to hunt this man down if he goes for any further and puts on like a kilt or something, you know?
It's look like he's gone out and bought very, very rushed, bought a disguise.
Yeah. Yeah. just glued it on at the last minute. You know, it was actually supposed to be the hair for Little Orphan Annie costume, right? You know,
but it came with a free gourd. You get.
Well, that guy has got some real issues. Turns out so does this guy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, if you don't recognize this guy, he's the son of a popular prime minister. He's a prime minister himself. This is Justin Trudeau. His father, Prime Minister, what was his name? Pierre Elliott Trudeau, was a popular prime minister. Justin, not so much. I really don't have a problem with him, but I think he's got an approval rating of low. Yeah, and he's considering stepping down amid a crisis that saw his own finance minister and deputy prime minister resign, all over Trump's tariffs thing. It's all about this tariffs thing. Well, it's also about this little Christmas gift Trudeau gave to Canadians, a little relaxing on one of the sales taxes, yada, yada. It's barely going to make a difference, but the political people are using it as the ultimate weapon to try to get things done. It's not that big a deal, I don't think. But anyway, so Trudeau told the cabinet that he's considering either resignation or prorogation. And that's the process of ending the parliamentary session. So just, shut the government down a little bit early, let everybody go home and get drunk and fat on turkey and stuff and sort it out in the morning kind of thing. He's planning to address Parliament coming up, I think tomorrow, although he could be literally giving remarks as we're doing this. I'm not 100% on that. He's been nearly 10 years in office, so I mean, according to most Americans, his time's up anyway. His approval rating has gone from 63 to below 30 at the moment. And this also, sure, there's people freaking out because they don't think Trudeau is going to have a proper response to Trump and the tariffs. But there is no formal, real policy on it yet. And we already have people freaking out to the point where there's resignations, finger pointing. And I don't really think that's in the public's best interest to be just flipping out and losing our stuff. Maybe everybody's just a little bit hot and emotional, or just using this for too much political push when it doesn't really deserve to. Not really sure, but I'm concerned that politics has just literally become the Morton Downey Jr. show at this point.
It is kind of how politics work. If there's anything to latch onto, they'll latch onto it and try to take you down. So it's not new.
Yeah,
not new in politics.
But it's not helpful, but we'll see how it plays out. We've got a real hard right sort of thing boiling in Canada as well. So we'll see how this plays out, because all we need is a hard right person to kind of be in office at the same time as Trump. And you could probably get two people that actually get along. I don't know if it'll work for the small people, but it might work for them. I don't know. Right. Shout out to the Weasel here with a super sticker. It's the pear guy jumping up and down and doing the little party thing and stuff. So thanks, Weasel. Very cool indeed. Love a super sticker. Where are you going now?
Well, I'm from greasy politicians to greasy burgers, because Dyer's Burgers is a popular Memphis eatery. It's been frying its meat patties in the same grease for over a century.
Oh!
Claiming it's the secret to its delicious tasting burgers. Elmer Doc Dyer founded his now famous burger joint in Memphis in 1912, betting on its secret mix of seasonings to make the patties irresistible. It worked, and people loved Dyer's Burgers, but it wasn't until one fateful night when one of the cooks forgot to change the grease in the pan that they became to die for. Probably heart attack. Kendall Robertson, the current owner of Dyer's Burgers, claims that the next day someone came in and had a burger and said, "That's the best burger I've ever had in my life." The skillet of grease was never been changed since.
But what if that person was hungover a total slob scratching their own sack while ordering at the counter of your diner? Like, do you just take their word for it and don't change the grid? This is wrong.
Well, the answer to your question is yep, you take the word for it. As they say, it's the same molecules from 1912 and it's never been changed. I don't know how they can say that. It's just a skillet, isn't it? A pan, because it's constantly changing. Yeah, so Dyer's burgers start out as round balls of meat and are pounded with a wooden mallet before. It's a smash burger. So it's a smash burger. Who can guess? The thin patties then tend to shrink when fried, so most people usually ask for doubles, sometimes triples. Making a single doesn't really fill you up. It's just burger people just like stack them up. But yeah, you'd think people would be put off by this, but no. Actually, what some of the people actually ask for is what they call a double dip. Is when you take the entire burger once it's been made and to be dumped into the grease again.
Oh, come on. Where's this place located? Next to the emergency ward? I mean,
fuck. I know, but people have a go at the Scots and there's some of their weird, fried food, fetishes. But come on, just bung it in the grease a bit more. Could you just get that bun to soak it all up? Just revolting.
Oh, that's just so many parts of wrong, man. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So let's get on to some real happy news, right? So
we could try.
Yeah, this inhuman piece of garbage is dead. Woohoo!
Rest in pieces. Rest in pieces.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, what's his fucking name? General Up My Butt. That's what we'll call him. The head of Russia's radiation, chemical, and biological protection troop, Igor In My Ass, who has died in an explosion in Moscow, was accused by the West of overseeing the use of chemical weapons on the battlefield in Ukraine. This is why I am so happy to hear that this abhorrent piece of human garbage has killed. And the way it happened was pretty cool. There is actually some visual picture, blah, blah of it, where that's not what we do around here. But it was in a scooter and it was him and some asshole that he probably bullwhips with some big piece of leather on a nightly basis that were taken out by a scooter. So I'm hoping it was like a long, slow, painful, agonizing death with shrapnel ripping him apart. And they try and save him. And he's just like, slowly dying. And I can only hope.
But we should point out the scooter didn't just attack them in some kind of bizarre manner. It was actually packed with explosives.
Yeah. It wasn't a transformer. Too bad. Yeah. Imagine a scooter that could just turn into the skeleton of Wolverine and just rip these to shreds.
Yeah, the Ukrainian technology is good. I don't think it's that good.
Yeah. So and this guy was unbelievably nasty. He's viewed as committing horrible acts against Ukraine with chemical and biological type weapons. He's been one of the masterminds behind the whole program in Russia. I can only imagine somebody developing new and horrible ways to kill in these kinds of manners. How many of their own prisoners in those Russian camps and blah, blah, did this guy just worthlessly, oh man.
I haven't picked up on this. I've been out all day, and so I haven't picked up on this story yet. But where did this actually happen? Do you know where? Because it was actually Ukrainian forces that did it, or special forces. I suppose there must have been commandos or something.
Yeah, he's southeastern Moscow.
So it was. Oh, right, it was in Moscow.
Yeah, and it was outside of his building. So. This is
that's going to put the fear up the fucking Russian generals.
Yeah, due to the nature of this operation and how they were able to get the information and act on it and be so effective about it, it must be scaring the living hell out of a whole whack of his buddies.
This is proper old-fashioned SAS kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. You can imagine Bond running away to meet his contact or whatever, getting out of there. Like, totally, you know?
Wow. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear.
So, congratulations to everybody involved. You know, rid the world of one of the worst, and I congratulate you. Well done.
Yeah. Keep going through the list.
Exactly. Oh man, a few more, and we'll have a big party. You know. So, who are these folk?
Yeah, these folk are a pair of classical musicians. Apparently became famous. Well, a guy is called a cellist called Sheku Kene Mason. Well, he got famous by playing at the royal wedding.
Oh,
we can't remember which one.
Was that the Canadian royal wedding with the pudding and everying, or do you mean yours?
It was the Duke and Duchess of Sussex at Windsor Castle. Yes. And he was doing that at the age of 19, and you know, it made him famous. So they were going on a tour, going to a show in Toronto. I bet you got tickets. But they were on an Air Canada flight, and the flight refused them to board with their cello, even though they purchased a seat for the instrument. Yes, you buy a seat for your cello.
I would if he's a pro, and that's an expensive. Oh wow!
You don't know the half of it because they had loads of cancellations and stuff. They had to cancel the show in Toronto because, you know, and obviously, you know, it was fully booked and all this kind of stuff. So it was really shit. Now, the thing is, it staggers me about this story, and I just cannot figure it out. Well, the cello is actually 300 years old, and it was constructed around 1700 by a famous Venetian luthier called Matteo Goffilia. He built all the SRV guitars and all that kind of stuff. But according to a film about the instrument, it's worth $4.5 million.
Whoa, dude! Wow.
Yeah. Well, now what I don't get, how does a young musician, 19 years old, how does he have a $4.5 million cello? Where did he get it from?
Maybe his folks got some cabbage.
What?
You know?
You'll have a $4.5 million?
Yeah,
come on.
You know, that's a lot of cabbage, right? You know, you got to have some acreage for that, you know, for sure.
Oh, damn. I don't know. Did Paul McCartney play it or something?
You play it. He must have sweated on it or something. You know, it smells like a beetle. You know?
Yeah, it's been actually been made by the we're using the skin and bones of
Stradivarius himself. Yeah, he just used his corpse.
No, I was thinking Elvis Presley or something.
Oh yeah.
But funny. That's okay. This isn't the first time it's happened to him. It's not the first time we've heard stories like this at all. I'm just staggered, but I'm just staggered at the value of the bloody bass and how he's managed bass.
Yeah.
The cello.
Imagine him just grabbing it and start going doom 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 doom. People are going, no.
Yeah, even worse, he gets an electric conversion.
Yeah. Throws a DiMarzio in there, just drills a hole in it.
Puts a preamp in there. Oh, got a guitar tuner built in there. Stock.
Yeah, custom fiberglass back. You know.
I hope he's got a good gig back for it. That's all I can say.
Oh, it's funny. You know, as it's getting the year right now, we got a story for you here. And if you've got like little ones listening, A, why? But B, just tell them to go do something else right now. They're not going to want to hear this.
I hope they're subscribed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, at least in their bedroom where you don't know what they're doing. So there's a vicar. That's a religious dude in the UK for North Americans. He's been forced to apologize because he sat down with a group of school children aged around 10 and started talking about how Saint Nick is not a real deal at all. Pupils began to sob and cry, and he just kept going. He didn't stop at all. It didn't faze him that he was upsetting the kids. One parent described the talk as absolutely disgusting, while another said her daughter reckoned the guy must have been mistaken and completely lost the plot. So the church, the DOC, whatever you want to call it, accepted it was an error of judgment. What? An error of judgment? That vodka-smelling asshole is a prick.
I hope one of the kids shouted back at him, yeah, well, your fucking God doesn't exist either. So
yeah, exactly, right? You know?
How dare he decide what does and does not exist?
Yeah.
Who is he to come? Oh,
I know.
Shut up.
Yeah. So it's the Anglican DOC of Portsmouth. So if you're a part of that group, vodka-smelling prick is a jerk. And people are like, I don't want this guy anywhere near my child. You know, we can't just undo this now. Like what this guy has done is just unforgivable. And, you know, they said, we understand that the vicar, you know, was talking about the nativity and made some comments about the existence of Father Christmas. He has accepted this was an error of judgment and he should not have done so. Like, seriously? Seriously? You want to apologize for this? You want to apologize for this? Build a guillotine in the center of town, get all the kids together, march his punk ass out, and end it.
Yes, while he's dressed as Santa.
Yeah. No, the Grinch. No, because he redeems himself at the end. I don't know. Dress him up as Yoko Ono. It's the UK. Everybody hates her.
Oh dear. So the thing is, kids are already confused about stuff that go on television all the time, you know, because you see all these movies are out, you know, and it just confuses kids about the magic of Christmas in so many ways. You know, there's always like a story about a Santa who's not a Santa, who's pretending to be a Santa or somebody, you know, whatever. I mean, there was a movie on the other day. It was like a short film, the Ice Age, you know, the Ice Age franchise, and it was it was all about Christmas. in the Ice Age.
Yeah, that makes total sense. You know?
It was like millions of years before the birth of Christ, and they're celebrating Christmas.
More reindeer back then to pick from, I bet. It's probably quicker, you know.
How confused the kids are going to be? Oh, was Jesus before the Ice Age? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's when he was called Samson. I guess time has clicked. Huge thanks to everybody for joining us and being here with us, and we will see you Thursday for another chuckle fuck look at what the hell the world's up to. See you soon.
Oh, we'll see you then. Bye.
And a big shout out to our team who help us endlessly in the background to do what it takes to really bring this together and have a show. We've got Shade on the Shills account tonight, DJ CNET running our newsroom, and Super Chat Matt as well. So thanks everybody, because it takes a team to actually make it happen.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for all your super chats and channel donations and becoming memberships and giving you memberships and all that kind of stuff. It really helps the channel along. And don't forget to hit like on the way out. I'm going to do that right now, so you can just damn well do the bloody same. And don't forget to share us out. Share us out on social media. Share us out, I don't know, you change the name of your pub to the Shills and upset a Muslim. Or just share us out on Blue Sky, you know, look for the place to be, and yeah, so, well, whatever. We'll see you on Thursday. The more the same.
Remember, don't fly with pigs, because you might end up in Bermuda. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye for now. Stay chilly.